You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Come on in here, man. Feeling pretty good today. Getting the voice back, feeling good. A little head cold I had, man. Everywhere I went, people said, it's going around and it's bad. And it was. I was like drowning last night. My wife said, you're snoring. I said, I'm sorry, I'm sick. But I'm feeling pretty good, so we'll try it today and have some fun with a cool concept.
I need a boost. I need a daily boost. I need a boost. I need a daily boost.
It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. My name is Scott Smith. Good to have you here today. Yeah, I went to my wife and I finally got to Daytona Bike Week. We live nearby, so we rode over there. I got there 6 hours, I think. Been sick all week long, so I said, I got to go. And she's like having a great time at the Broken Spoke, having some fun in Daytona. And I said, I got to go home. I was just worn out. This is one of those things. Anyway, thanks for putting up with me as I find my way back. But I think today's going to be a good show for you. You're going to like this. I'm going to take you back in time. I'll tell you more about that in a sec here. In the meantime, if you didn't hear yesterday, I do produce an email about twice a week. I don't often go beyond twice a week. Usually you'll get 2. This week you might get 1 because I've been sick, but usually it's 2 or 3. Notes from Scott. It usually tracks the day's podcast, and sometimes I just kind of go off the rails and do something completely different. But it's always short, always fun, always a lot of insight. If you like that, I won't waste your time, I promise you. Just go to notesfromscott.com, subscribe to it. Why do you subscribe? So you can unsubscribe if you want to, and then you can resubscribe if you want to. It's awesome. So a long time ago, when I started this thing I do, I think I'm in about 26, 27 years now, 20 years on this podcast. When I started it, I started kind of develop some philosophies. I've never seen this as a motivational tip and trick show, although we do that sometimes. I've always seen it as what I call motivational observation or observational motivation, like observational comedy. I watch the world, pay attention to what works and doesn't work, and trust me, a lot of the stuff that a lot of people talk about just doesn't work, at least for all the people all the time. But I observe, I figure it out, and frankly, I just do what works. And I only tell you about what works too. But I started out and I said, hey, life begins when you move. Well, that was really true, is really exactly what happens when you get off your butt and do stuff. Life changes, but it's kind of tactical, right? It's kind of a method, something to do. It's not really philosophy. But shortly after that, I began to see life gets in the way. Have you noticed that? You finally get yourself moving, and then life stops you. That's called momentum being stopped. But I noticed something else along the way. I noticed that, and I said this initially, that motivation should be automatic. And what I meant by that is when you get excited, you'll hear me say it from time to time. I've seen it again and again. When you get excited, it's amazing how motivated you get. You just go do stuff, right? Well, what I found was that if you could get in a situation where motivation became automatic for you, not only was exciting and fun, but momentum became inevitable. So I began to call this the philosophy of inevitable momentum. I've talked about it for, amongst my clients and stuff for a while now. I rarely, if ever, have mentioned on this podcast, maybe once or twice. But when people align their life properly, they move forward. That's it. Not slowly, not reluctantly. They just move. They increased energy, clarity, speed. They go for it. You can see it when it happens. You can see when somebody locks into momentum. Ideas, opportunities, progress, everything's cool. Momentum just builds. When life becomes misaligned, something different happens. Have you noticed? You get slow. You don't have any energy. You stall. You just don't do anything. It's frustrating, isn't it? People interpret this as personal failure. It's not. They assume it's lack of motivation. It's lack of discipline. It's lack of drive. It's not. You have all those things. I work with really capable people. People that I look at, I say, they tell me, Scott, I guess I've lost my discipline. No, not at all. They're not broken. You're just kind of drifting a little bit out of alignment. Now, when I say alignment, what I'm talking about is alignment with your values. When you do things throughout the course of a day, when the activities you take throughout the course of a day, goals maybe, when they align with what you believe on the inside, you're unstoppable. When alignment returns, motivation resumes. It does. And when movement continues long enough in the correct direction, momentum is inevitable. So the entire philosophy can kind of be summarized in one sentence. I had to write this down to get the words right. I know it, but I just want to make sure you heard it right. When awareness leads to alignment, alignment leads to movement. Momentum becomes inevitable. It just explains why life sometimes feels effortless and sometimes feels stuck. Have you felt that before? Momentum is not something you force. That's willpower, and willpower never works. It's more like free will. Momentum is something that emerges when the conditions of life are aligned and remain true over time. Did you hear that? It emerges when the conditions of life are aligned and remain true over time. So often you'll hear me talk about the peaceful base. This used to be the foundation of life, and I just call it a peaceful base. And all I mean by that is if we can align your values and your actions and everything else so that every single day in your home life, in your business life, in your parental life, in your gym life, all the things that you do that are important to you, if we can get that settled into a peaceful base where it's steady and comfortable, there's no chaos, and do it consistently, you get in momentum. You get in better shape, get better relationships, everything changes. Healthy soil is the same way, right? Strong plants. Go to the gym, get strong. Human life follows the same pattern, I guess. Conditions of life are good, you have more energy, right? If you're healthy, you have more energy. Movement becomes more natural. Momentum appears. And if it remains true long enough, that outcome becomes predictable. That momentum becomes inevitable. So why do people feel stuck, huh? Hear this all the time. You're stuck. You're in neutral. I know you feel stuck, maybe frustrated. You're not really stuck, okay? But let me tell you why. Most people are stuck because life accumulates, it's the F word, friction. It does. Outdated goals, expectations from others, drama. Lose the drama, guys. Environments that are not positive, they're negative. Obligations that no longer fit who you are, who you want to be. Friction shows up. It's all over the place. Think for a minute where friction is in your life right now. Most people that I talk to that get with me sometimes, it's usually they're having friction in their life and they want to figure out how to deal with it. And we start by giving them tactics to go deal with the current friction. Usually it's like with a boss or something like that. But then we start digging a little bit deeper and we start getting things in alignment and suddenly friction goes away. When movement slows, momentum disappears.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hi, this is Zoe Deutsch.
And Nick Robinson. Our brand new movie, Voicemails for Isabel, is all about those little moments that feel like the universe is looking out.
Feeling homesick, then your sister calls.
Hearing that perfect song exactly when you need it. Sometimes life rigs things in our favor, like learning about your new favorite rom-com, Voicemails for Isabel. Now playing only on Netflix.
And people assume the solution is to push harder. It's not. Force does not solve it. Clarity does. And clarity is really the most important thing we can do, but how do we get that? Even the Stoics talked about clarity. Everybody wants to be clarity. All the coaches talk about get clear, get clear, get clear. And you ask them how, and they don't have an answer for you. I didn't have an answer either. That's why I created my daily awareness diary. It's all about awareness. I give 9 questions to you. I let you do that for the same question every day for 21 days. I toss it into a chat GPT, and I do something magical in the background that kind of really unearths exactly what your actual values are. And most people's jaw drops. It's crazy. It's crazy. I sold that a year ago. I don't do it anymore. Now it's just included in my coaching programs. So the process to restore momentum is what? Got a couple of parts to it. So let's go through these. I haven't even seen this. I wrote this down a few days ago, and I'm just kind of scrolling through it as I'm looking at it right now. Awareness. Awareness means seeing life clearly. What it does, it reveals what's working, what's draining your energy, what friction is there. A lot of people don't take the time to become aware. They don't want to do it. They don't want to admit to it. It's a hard thing. Listen, if I ask you to sit down every single day and ask 9 questions, it'd take you 10 minutes to do it. I got to fight you to do it. Just going to be honest. I don't know why. But what happens is after 2 or 3 days, it becomes eye-opening and refreshing. You start to really see what's going on in your life. And when I guide you through it and tell you how to answer the questions, man, it opens up. It's not a journal. We're not just journaling our life. No, we're actually paying attention to what's going on. Without awareness, people push harder and you push in the wrong direction. So awareness removes an illusion. You see it clearly. What's next? Alignment. Once the truth becomes visible, your direction can change. That's it. Once you see it, you know what to do. I had a client just the other day, working in for a couple of weeks now. It was so frustrating trying to get him to see something he just couldn't see. And we both agreed he was just having a hard time. It took a while. And eventually we got there. Man, it was like, boom, instantly he could now see what just minutes before was invisible. The trick is to click. It's that millisecond time when you get it. Alignment means this. You organize your life around values, strengths, passions, your current stage of life. A lot of folks I work with are like second stage people, like 45 plus, kind of that second career. People are like, man, I haven't made the impact I want to have yet. What am I going to do? You're not in alignment. You've done something for 20, 25 years. It doesn't fit who you are today. Alignment reduces friction. When friction decreases, movement and momentum become easier. Next is up movement. Movement begins with the next honest step. Not a big step, not a perfect step, just a correct step. That's all. Aligned movement restores energy. You've felt that before, right? Sometimes you're just trudging through the week and it says, man, how do I get through this thing? I got a busy week this week. I got like 6 personal appointments I have to go to. It's crazy. Probably a total of 8 or 9 hours that I'm out of the house doing stuff this week. That's a big deal. It's like, oh man, until like 9 o'clock at night. I get up early in the morning. It is so aligned with what I'm doing though. I'm excited. I just can't wait to get out and do it. It's just who I am. Momentum is final. The last one. When movement continues in the correct direction, progress compounds. Ideas expand, energy grows, everything happens. Momentum will carry you forward. You know that feeling, right? If it remains true long enough, you're going to get what you want. It becomes inevitable. That's all. So the goal is what? Is to, yes, as the old motivational people would say, get into momentum and keep it there. How do we get there? We stay aware and we build a peaceful base. So momentum is not the end of the process. Momentum feels like what feeds new awareness. And this is where you kind of have to think a little bit. Because as you move your life forward, what works, what doesn't work, all that kind of stuff, it becomes a cycle. So think about it this way. Awareness, alignment, movement, momentum, new awareness. It's kind of a feedback, feed-forward model used in engineering, where we understand that if we become aware, we start to align things and we start to get movement and momentum. Eventually, we're going to see the world differently, aren't we? And that creates new awareness. Each cycle increases your clarity and increases your speed. So, a couple of things here. 3 laws of inevitable momentum. You ready for this? I can break it down into 3. How do I know? Because I did. I wrote it down. Law number 1, awareness creates clarity. You cannot build momentum until you see it clearly. Awareness reveals friction, misalignment, opportunity, the whole thing. Law number 2, alignment removes friction. When life aligns with values, strength, and passion, movement becomes easier. Alignment reduces resistance. Movement creates momentum. Once movement begins in the correct direction and continues long enough, you're going to get what you want. So let me run through this one more time so you understand this cycle, if you will. Awareness is where it all begins. You got to take the time to do it. Maybe you're thinking about that right now. Maybe you should be thinking about that right now. I do it every single day. I'm locked into it. I just pay attention. I just stop and say, how am I feeling about that? What do I think about this? What am I going to do? Awareness is everything. Once you're aware of what's going on, you will likely figure out that you're not in alignment, that you're doing something or feeling something that doesn't feel like you. So what do? And we step into some process to get you aligned so you understand what to do, and we start to map that. Once you can map it, what can you do? If you can map it, you can move into movement. You can start moving forward. You start doing something about it. Take some action. And if you do that long enough and consistently under the right conditions, you'll get into momentum. And as you go into momentum, your eyes are going to be open. You're going to feel pretty good, and you're going to start to see new opportunities. So sometimes I have to think about which condition in my life is out of alignment, don't we? Have to kind of figure that out. Life is designed for movement. When life feels stalled, it's because I'm not broken. It's because something in my life has shifted out of alignment. So my first job, your first job, is not to push harder. Our first job is to see clearly. Awareness reveals the truth. Alignment corrects the direction. Movement restores energy. Momentum builds naturally. And when the conditions remain true long enough, momentum becomes inevitable. I'm not going to teach this a lot on the podcast because you just got it today because I just kind of want to go through it. But this goes back behind the scenes in my inner circle right now. We'll see some serious stuff over there we do every single week. If you'd like to talk about being in my inner circle, send a note to scott@dailyboostpodcast.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram if you'd like to. Hey, Scott Smith, ask me about the inner circle. I'll tell you all about it. We'll see if you're a good fit for it, okay? Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Boost.